When I was in college, I went up to one of my friends, and then I injected him with my semen. No.
This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by Squarespace. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Oh my God. Squarespace. Doctor, Jordan breeding. Give me the news. I've got a bad case of needing some awesome articles from themodernrogue.com.
Yeah, the doctor thing works. We're going to talk about bodies that betrayed their masters. There's this woman. She lives in Canada.
I totally forgot the running through line of the best part of this bit is your awesome segues and transitions. Oh my God, I'm so here for this.
Okay, there's a woman.
Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of bodies, women have them.
Yeah.
I've heard. Gluten did not agree with her.
Glue did not
Gluten. She had celiac disease.
Yeah.
But it was
which, by the way,
real bad.
As the father of kids with food allergies, like, hooray awareness about food allergies, boo to the eye-rolling nature that people react with food allergies. They're like, yeah, sure. You know, like, no, I'm serious, it will kill me, right? Same thing with celiac. When the gluten-free thing caught on, hooray for awareness about gluten being in things.
Yeah.
Boo to the eye rolling that came like, yeah, sure, there's no gluten. They're like, no, you don't understand.
It was two things on that. One is, at least at the time that we wrote the article, it was about 86% of people that thought they had celiac disease did not. So that feeds into that a little bit.
And you do see that anytime there's a mishmash of a lot of different symptoms, there's like a cloud of things it could be. Like, I had always heard the word fibromyalgia before, and as I understand it now, it means whatever's happening here is a real thing. We don't have a name for the specific thing it is yet, but whatever it is, it's real. And that's why you have that frustrating, agonizing, you know, do I have Lyme disease? Do I have? It's real, whatever this is.
Yeah. Okay, so she did not know that she had this disease.
Yeah, the celiac.
Yes. But what she did know is that as soon as she became 4 or 5, she started to have hallucinations. She hallucinated a boy named Tommy, who later she found out might be the name that her mother gave a child they miscarried, which is terrifying. She would see fairies out the window, sometimes ghosts. She once said the voice...
This is at what age?
This is all relatively young, but it continued until she was like in her 20s or 30s.
Okay, so into adulthood.
It wasn't just that she was...
Yeah, I was about to say, kids hallucinate all the time. Like, that's not unusual.
Yeah, she said at some point the voice of God told her to plant 3 trees in the garden, which is... Honestly, if the voice of God is telling you to do something, that's pretty good.
It's like, that's not the most metal thing I've heard a God ask someone to do. Please recycle.
Yeah, right? It's pretty good. If he's going to tell you to do something, that's good for the planet. She kept having these hallucinations. She said she would see entire scenes that no one else was seeing, all this stuff, and then she went to a conference.
Hipster scene.
She's like, I think it's going to be
the
big.
Goth scene.
Yeah, she's like, I think nobody else is seeing this, but I'm seeing this. She went to a conference about how gluten can be bad for you, unrelatedly. And so she's like, I'll just stop eating gluten. And the visions went away almost immediately. And so Canada actually commissioned a study of her specifically to try to figure it out.
No, wait, how does one get the kind of clout? What cocktail party are you at where you casually mention, used to hallucinate all the time, stopped having gluten, look at me now. Stop everything.
Yeah.
The whole country, we need a study.
I could look it up. Do you want the real answer or you want me to just spitball?
I just want you to make it up.
Okay, my guess is that she had a documented history of hallucinations.
Okay.
And then they went away, and her doctor was like, well, that's wild.
And so
then it goes up the chain.
So maybe somebody was wondering if there was a causality thing, did a little LexisNexis search, and then found, oh, here is a case, and then did an interview, and then
maybe.
God, this is so much easier than actually looking stuff up.
It is much
no
quicker,
wonder AI
more
is doing
efficient.
it.
Yeah. Anyway, they did the study, and they thought that there was like maybe some kind of nutrients were being fed to some part of her brain that was overreacting that were now not there, but they couldn't figure it out. So that's it. She's living a much better life.
Oh, got it.
She just can't eat bread. Or Tommy will come tell her to plant trees.
This is a case of her body betrayed her. Yeah. Well, that's a good end to that story.
Oh, end. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I was talking about the trees that take a very long time to say things.
Oh, no. I was saying the end of the story, which means you have to make a transition. She did plant a tree. What's funny, I'm like, why would an end be found?
Okay. I thought, it's fine. Let's just jump to another one. A guy had hiccups for 2 years.
That's dope. I mean, not for him.
It was starting to damage his body.
It's just always difficult to walk. Because you can't take breaths in the right places.
He couldn't go outside anymore. He couldn't do anything with his life because he couldn't stop hiccuping. He presumably lost a lot of arguments because it's easy to defeat somebody who can't finish what they're saying.
Could you imagine how terrified you'd be of everything when the whole world thinks they're doing you a favor by
Like they're trying to scare you? yeah, absolutely. And what ended up happening was a Japanese film crew or something was like, can we make a documentary about you? Because this is very weird. And in the process of that, it's a Super Size Me type thing where they're like, we're going to give you MRIs, we're going to check your body, see if anything's wrong. And there was a tumor on his brainstem.
Oh.
They took it out and he was healed. What we had said in the article was like, so what you do is every time you have hiccups, just imagine it's because you have a brain tumor, and then the fear makes it go away, hopefully.
Because you'll scare yourself.
Yeah, because you'll scare yourself.
Okay.
So this keeps happening. There was this guy, got into his 40s, and then all of a sudden he became a sex addict. Couldn't stop.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Yeah, and he started soliciting children.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything happened necessarily, but they're like, please stop.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, this became kind of a seminal, like you could see his brain and behavior before, and you could see his brain and behavior after, and it's just like, do we not point to the obvious cause of this behavior? Does he need to go? And I think he did go to jail.
He did, but he got out after the tumor was removed, but it grew back, and the behavior came back. So then it became a pretty clear, but it is an interesting ethical situation. How much are we allowed to bring sort of intent into it?
Yeah. Well, and the answer of the question of nature versus nurture, it's algorithms and data, right?
Okay.
Like nature is the algorithm that you're made of. Nurture is the data that you're fed.
Okay.
And so the answer, of course, is both. There is no anything without both sides of
Right.
it.
Well, okay, so that's a great point. Is there any consideration that should be made when it's purely medical versus you were raised in a certain way or your genetics are...
You may have a medical degree, but I have a made-up legal degree.
Oh.
And I'm going to say... objection to this line of talk.
Oh, you don't even want to get there. The other more benign versions of this a little bit, there was a German skier, skied too hard, got caught in an avalanche, and was without oxygen, I think they said 15 minutes, an impossible amount of time.
When I was a kid, there was a pond that totally froze all the way across, and then everything thawed, and there was a goldfish swimming around. Like, things do freeze, and metabolisms do slow down, and people do go long times without oxygen and are able to, like, in general, this is the part a lot of people don't want to say. Every time you see CPR performed, I want to say like 80 or 90%. I'm sure we'll get the right number. It doesn't work out at all.
Interesting.
Like the idea of doing this and then, but it's enough that everybody should always do CPR.
Okay.
But the cases where it does work the best are when somebody drowns like in ice cold water. So if he goes a long time without oxygen, and as a matter of fact, heart surgery experienced a revolution with the development of the heart-lung machine.
Okay.
Blood goes out, a machine enriches the blood, pumps it back in. Now we could take the heart out of the equipment in this giant, I don't know, say it's the size of a Tron machine or whatever, could take care of that long enough to do open heart surgery, right?
Right.
In Russia, they didn't have a heart-lung machine. What they had was butcher's ice. And they would they would lower the body temperature of the entire body close enough to freezing, and then they would just cut them open, and you're like, and go, okie dokie, gonna try, and however long it took, and then they're like, he's fine.
Yeah, that's not at all the point of the story, but that's a really interesting element of it, which is, okay, he wasn't underwater for 15 minutes, which probably would have been a different thing, or he wasn't in outer space. Well, it would have been cold.
He's skiing so hard.
Just, if you go off a big enough jump, that's the German space program. The point is, they save him. They're very worried because his brain has been without oxygen for a significant amount of time. They think he's going to have a lot of deficits. He ends up having no deficits except one. If he plays Sudoku, his left arm won't stop twitching.
The more I learn about the brain, the more fascinated I am by the fact that our brain and consciousness is a collection of essentially little clubhouses, you know,
Right.
and there's a math clubhouse. Like, have you noticed that you can't listen to two stories at the same time
Right.
and follow them both? But Professor Richard Feynman, who worked on the Manhattan Project, he talked about how he noticed that he could do math while hearing a story, but he couldn't do two stories at the same time.
Right.
And as I understand it, that's because you got language section, you got
Mm-hmm.
your Broca's area and so on.
And that actually makes sense, and that's what they thought. But what's weird about that is he could still do crossword puzzles. He could do other similar analytical puzzle type things. It is, as far as they could tell, the only thing that he could not do was Sudoku.
That's wild.
And so they were like, I guess that's, if you can give that up, you'll be okay. He's like, 9!
And they're like, no numbers,
No
no
numbers.
numbers.
And there was a guy in Brazil in the 90s who had a stroke. His compulsion ended up being that he could not stop giving things away.
Oh, I totally believe that. There are certain types of strokes where all of a sudden you'll pick up like a gambling addiction or something.
Yeah, and I think that's significantly more common. He's one of the only cases that they were aware of where it's sort of altruistic in nature, but it was debilitatingly so. So he had actually quit his job, whatever it was, to open a fry cart, but he couldn't accept the money. So he would just give out food. And if people did pay him, he would just turn around and hand it to like a homeless person or somebody in need. And they ended up, he lost the business, he lost everything. He had to move in with his parents, and everybody continued to be pissed at him all the time because if they gave him anything, he gave it to someone else. It's this weird altruistic version of a gambler who compulsively is spending, or sexaholic or something like that. But in isolation, it seems you'd want to be friends with that guy.
Well, I mean, until his bank account ran dry
That's true.
and his lady came around.
And then you feel sad about it, yeah. Another one, an Indian guy, Indian software developer, if he looked at pornography...
I have a guess.
Oh. No. That's what it is. When he looked at pornography, he had an allergic reaction.
Oh.
But he did not have an allergic reaction when he had sex or masturbated.
Okay. Wait,
He was a thorough tester, I guess.
I wonder if that is a flushing embarrassment symptom run amok.
Interesting.
Because I can imagine seeing something transgressive that would be like, oh dear, and your body goes to flush, but instead kicks it into hyperdrive, because allergies and reactions are essentially, you know, the immunoresponses run amok. We don't have to claim any of this is right.
We don't have to know the answer.
Just asking questions, that's so good.
I'm just
No
here to
wonder.
tell you things.
Yeah.
Do your own research. It's not my fault.
This is, we belong on primetime cable news.
Well, then let's land the plane.
Okay.
We're gonna make this this is a rapid fire episode of things that you need to do.
Yes.
Not us.
Yes.
So there's another guy had a similar problem. He was allergic to orgasming specifically. And so every time he would be out for 2 days. So they had to schedule sex for Friday so that he could spend the weekend recovering.
Wow.
And how do you think they cured him? With your speculation, I do actually know the answer. But
Well, I know that with allergies, you engage in exposure therapy. You give him tiny orgasms that he learns to tolerate
almost.
over time.
Not quite.
Porn?
No.
Oh.
They injected him with his own semen for 3 years.
Oh, is it literally the way you cure, like when you get allergy shots?
Yeah, it's that, but it just so happened that he was allergic to his semen.
Huh.
Which is weird because it's already in you.
Maybe he's always itchy where it is.
He's just, my balls are always sick.
Oh, yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah. You say that only reminds me of when I was in college, I went up to one of my friends and then I injected him with my semen. No, I don't know what we were talking about, but I was like, you know when you get up in the morning and... No, wait, it's not as hot as all that.
No, all of this follows.
I said, you know how when you wake up in the morning and you can't walk for 5 minutes because your feet hurt so bad?
Oh.
And he said, what are you talking about? I was like,
what are you talking
What are you talking about? I went to the doctor and I had plantar fasciitis for 6 years.
Oh.
Didn't know. I just was like, you know how when you play lacrosse and then you can't walk after? You know, and you wake up and then you can't walk? I was just like, man, life's hard.
If I flex some muscles in my neck and back, or I can also induce it by leaning my head against my fist right now.
Okay.
But when I tighten muscles back here, I hear a high-pitched whine. Right now, I hear ee, like that sound.
Huh.
But nobody else see. It's like, maybe I also have plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, your feet are screwed, dude. Your balls are poisoned? Yeah. It's true. There's a lot of things we should check. So that's it. That's what your body does.
Where else can we learn more legitimate medical knowledge from you, Dr.
Right,
Jordan
that's
Breeding?
true. This is an unfortunate one for my moniker, but Dr. Jordan Breeding on YouTube.
Remember, Dr. Jordan Breeding, it's a real diagnosis. This is actual medical advice.
Yeah, follow it. Just inject yourself preemptively.
You know what? Yeah, we're not the boss.
I'm not
of
saying you have to do it.
We're not the boss. Yeah. Hey, Brandt, do you think hop, copy, spit, take, sepsis, do you think that's real?
No, I really
what about
don't.
a patent on coffee spit takes? Should I have it?
In this climate, you should have a patent on anything you can get.
You know what? I'm gonna make a website. It's gonna be a gorgeous website. It's gonna motivate the world to say, Brian deserves a patent, and also hot coffee spit take sepsis is a real medical condition. And I'm gonna have it look so good, which is gonna be made by Squarespace. They make it fast and easy to get your message out to the world. We're talking award-winning designs, 24/7 support. There'll be distributed hosting so it can become an international sensation overnight. Hot coffee spit take sepsis. TM? I don't know how patents work. I'll find out with the community section on the website. Everybody will be able to buy a t-shirt to raise awareness in the merchandise section. And I'll be sending out emails to everyone. That's right, all of this is gonna be made possible by our friends over at Squarespace. Don't take my word for it. Head on over to squarespace.com/rogue. Spell it right, R-O-G-U-E. Give it a free try. And when you fall in love, you'll get 10% off if you use promo code ROGUE at checkout. Hot coffee spit take sepsis. A patented, real disease. Can you patent a disease? I hope so.
What do you do with the patent of a disease?
You charge people for catching it. I guess you would patent the cure. Oh man, yeah, I screwed up again. Here I am holding the patent for the disease. Should have been the cure. Nobody wants the disease.
Ah, shucks.
This video was supported in part by patrons at patreon.com/modernrogue, where we just recently made this 15-minute guest interview with Chris Farrell available to $5 patrons for the first time. He showed us bladesmithing some time ago. If you've never seen it, it's a great video.
Have you ever, totally alone in a room, embarrassed yourself?
No.
When I think I'm biting down on a piece of beef jerky, and instead I have the silica packet in my mouth. Oh. That's embarrassing.
Okay.
For the millionth time, I'm like, never again.
Oh, I see.
And then future
It
me
just
like,
happens and it happens and it happens.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you have a brain tumor. Get that checked out.